Frank,
Hmm.
I hear fall is coming.
Yes, indeed. Fall is coming. Some much cooler weather is coming. Hopefully, it does end up being a really nice weekend, at least for most places. But it's not going to be exactly perfect, at least along the coastal plain. And let me get my screen share going again here so that we can kind of explain why that is. Um, Bang the button enough times, it should start working. And there we go. All right. Looking at the GFS here, this is the current time here with Sally pushing through, and I'll advance until we get past that. As we go to Saturday here, there is a cold front that's coming in behind Sally, and by the time we get to Friday evening, it should be becoming stationary along or just off the Carolina coast. The problems that we have to deal with here is that there's this front's becoming stationary close to the coast, and also we're dealing with this area of low pressure, this current tropical invest area down the Gulf of Mexico, and that's a potential moisture source for us as well. Looks like that's going to throw some cloudiness up into the Carolinas on Saturday. The 12Z GFS run was really bullish with the moisture coming north, and it was doing that because it was trying to develop the system down here faster and allowing an upper level trough that's over Texas currently to send that moisture and more of that system northeastward toward us. And actually, if that turns out to be the way things work out, seems unlikely now, but if it does work out that way, then we end up with not such a great weekend. But it ends up being rainy and chilly instead. But it doesn't look like that's the way it's going to work out. But it could be less than sunny, and the potential is at least there for Saturday, a little rain along the coast. Now, advancing ahead to Sunday, once again, we may be dealing with some cloud problems depending upon how much of that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico system gets pulled northward by that trough, and areas off to our south, it looks as though it does see some rain. But the bottom line, we're certain that it's going to be much cooler. It looks as though temperatures stay in the 60s in the mountains. If we end up cloudier than we expect, then maybe even just 50s. But outside of the mountains, high 60s and low 70s for the most part. I think for the Carolina Piedmont and then the coastal plain, mostly 70s. But you do stay in the clouds. Also along the coastal plain, notice on the GFS here, the isobars are packed together pretty tightly. This tight pressure gradient means that we're going to be fairly windy, and we could see winds maybe in the 15 to 25 mile an hour range all along the Carolina coast. That combined with the clouds and the fact that we have some unseasonably cool air moving in may make it cooler than some people would like. And if it ends up raining a little bit, it may feel more like a November day instead. But again, bottom line, much cooler for the weekend and unseasonably cool, as a matter of fact. Hopefully, we can keep the rain at bay even at the coast, but not a guarantee, at least for Saturday there. And once we get past the weekend, it actually looks like several dry days are coming up, so there'll be plenty of time to get the runoff through and no more rain events coming, at least in the near future, past at least Saturday.
And Frank, just to add one point to yours, with this the tightly packed isobars, the pressure gradient is going to be pretty significant along the Carolina coast. So if you're in the maritime environment, be expecting small craft advisories. We're looking at winds for now along the outer capes, North Carolina, even the outer capes of South Carolina, to Winyah Bay, even Charleston beaches. If there's sunshine pockets, we get this backdoor sea breezing effect, which can accelerate winds. So we could be seeing upwards of 25 to 30 knots. So we might be looking at some gales Saturday and into Sunday, especially Sunday is going to be probably the windiest of the two. But you never know, that initial burst that comes in on Saturday may prove to be equally as strong. So just be aware if you're thinking about fishing or you're going to go in the water to the beaches, it's going to be cool. We're looking at temperatures possibly in the upper 60s to low 70s on Sunday. It's going to be very windy. It's going to be pretty messy out there. So just a heads up.
Yes, indeed. Surf's going to be pretty rough for those of you who will be at the beach. It's not going to be an ideal beach weekend. Mountains, if you don't mind it being chilly in the mornings, looks like a great weekend for the mountains. Cool, crisp days up there, and we should be able to get the sun to pop out at least by Saturday afternoon, and probably a good bit of sun on Sunday as well.